How's it going, everyone? It's time once again for a weekly watch list. What this is, exact levels I'm watching for the upcoming week, and how I'm going to trade them. So let's get right into it. First up, ticker SPY. You can trade options or ES futures based off these levels. First zone here is current supply on the hourly around this 584. Looking for a reject here for puts or ES shorts. But if we come up with strength, we do not confirm to the downside, we break above. I will watch the pullback for the retest for a possible bounce for calls or longs. Current support on the hourly is 574.5. I will watch that for a possible bounce for longs or calls. And below that, I don't really have a level until way down here around this 566.7 to like 565.2. It's kind of a big zone, but I like this level. It's been a few days since we've been down there, so definitely be watching that. So what I want to see here, there's different ways to trade zones, but how I prefer to, I want to see us get down to this level, dip into this zone. I'm not interested in entering this trade inside this zone. I want to see us coming back up, with some aggressive buyers. And that's where I want my entry to be once we come out of the zone, possibly even wait on the close for whatever time frame you trade on. Up next, SPX. I kind of let this guide my ES and my SPY trades. These levels are very, very simple levels, just support resistance, areas of confluence. But it's very important to know where you are on SPX, I feel, when you're trading ES or SPY, because it tends to reject and bounce at these levels. I guess the best way to put it respects these levels. And yes, I do take trades based off these. If you don't understand that, I have a video specifically on how I trade SPX levels. Check that out. But not much has changed this week. I'm going to keep the same levels on my chart, and I will update you all as we go, if anything changes. But be sure you get these on your chart. All right, everyone, up next, QQQ. Be sure you stick around to the end. I have some NQ and ES levels for my futures traders out there. Not that you can't trade futures based off SPY, SPX, and QQQ, but I'm actually going to pull up the ES and NQ chart for you all, so stick around. So right now, with this 500 level, I know it pushed up to 500.28, but this whole psych 500, you can see we rejected it hard. And I will watch for another possible reject up there if we push back up. Closest bounce area I would consider, and yes, you can trade NQ based off these levels. Honestly, I may start trading MNQ instead of NQ based when I'm trading QQQ levels specifically, because I found it hard to time your entry watching QQQ with NQ. Because NQ is so big, a small zone on QQQ could add up to a little more risk than what we want, if that makes sense. But maybe try some MNQ based off these levels. Anyways, it's 490 to like 489.5 is the current bounce area I'm watching. Also, if we push down again, come back out for our entry. Below that, back down here around this 486, down to like 485.2. And watch that for a possible bounce. Up next are my ES levels for you all. A lot of people request these, so I'm going to start trying to include futures levels as well for you all. So you can see I have two zones. I'm sure you all probably already had these up in our charts because they're so clear, but both setting around these whole side, this 5800 and this 5900. Both areas I'm going to be watching, look for shorts up here and longs down here. Very simple. I said this a few times. I read it in a book once, and it just made about as much sense as anything I've ever read. Once you get your setup, I know my trading style seems really simple because it is, but it took me a long time to learn this, and people underestimate how hard it is to do something simple consistently every single day. It's very difficult, even though the task is simple. What we're doing. It's hard to do it consistently, and not let your, not try to throw in something you think should work, but just following the system. Okay, here are my NQ levels, my zones. As you can see, kind of big zones, but again, it looks solid coming out of the zone. I'm not looking to enter inside of it, but I'm going to be watching this zone for possible reject, this zone for possible bounce. And if we lose this, we could look for the pullback retest for the short entry here. And again, this is my bottom zone that I'm watching for possible bounce down here around this 2100 level. Okay, so you have my levels, right? You have all my levels. We got a promising week ahead. everything looks good. But, if you're struggling with trading, if, you just can't seem to make it click, this could be your week. I'm not saying it's all going to click this week. This could be the week you start creating good habits. And that's what it's all about. You're not going to become profitable in one week. It's not all going to click. It's about following your plan, start creating good habits. Just like with life, good habits are key. The same thing applies with trading. That's how you get out of, the habit of moving your stop loss or averaging down a losing trade that is not following your plan, right? It all starts with building good habits. You can do it one day, then push yourself to the next. Eventually, good trading is just going to be a habit for you. So, just something to think about. Appreciate you all for watching, and I will see you next time.